Hello, welcome to HTM on the Line. I'm your host, Bryant Hawkins Sr. I'm very excited about today's episode for a lot of different reasons. Number one, HTM on the Line is taking its show on the road, virtually, of course. Today's guest is from Senegal, West Africa, which is over 4,800 miles from my location in New Orleans, Louisiana. There's also a time difference of 6 hours. My guest today is Deborah Nusagal. Deborah is a volunteer biomedical equipment technician who spends her time on the Mercy ship. Let me tell you a little about this company she volunteers for. Mercy ship is a cruise liner type of ship or floating hospital on water that is filled with state-of-the-art medical equipment and a volunteer crew of doctors, nurses, medical staff, technicians, teachers, physical therapists, and other caring people driven by mercy to help make the world a better, healthier place for all. I feel honored and blessed to share Deborah's story with you today. Without further ado, let's get into today's podcast with Deborah Nutsagal. Hello, Deborah. Welcome to HTM on the Line. How are you doing today?
Hi, Brian. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm doing great.
Awesome. I'm excited to have you on. You are my first international guest, so I'm very excited.
And thank you.
So where
I'm excited.
Great. Yeah. Where are you logging in from today?
I'm speaking from Senegal, Dakar, Senegal. Right now. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm currently located and working with Mercy ships.
Okay, so you're in Senegal, West Africa?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where you from?
I'm from Ghana.
Where did you do your studies?
I studied as well in Ghana. My undergrad studies, I did it in Ghana.
What about family?
I have 4 siblings, so we have 5 children, and my parents, so we are 7 in the family. I am a twin. I'm one of the 2.
Okay.
And we have one brother. He's the last born, and then 4 girls.
What made you get into the biomed industry?
Okay, so I had needed to make a career choice, but I knew that I wanted to really do something that could help people, like really directly help people. To choose a career, I wanted to be in the medical field, but I'm also very technical, fiddling with things, but I did not know initially that biomed existed. So until I went to the university, and I actually saw that biomed was one of the courses they offered. And I was initially given admission to study computer science, but I really knew what I wanted to do. Also, I started fixing things with my uncle. He's a mechanic, so I would be around him while he fixed cars, generators, and so like I was really interested in using my hands and getting my fingers dirty and all that. So I knew that I didn't want to be a nurse or a doctor, but I wanted to be in the field. So I thought biomed would be a good combination of what I wanted to do to help people in the medical field, but also to stick to my passion of fixing things. So that's how come I came to find myself in biomed. I took 1 week to read about biomed when I got my admission into computer science, and I decided that this is what I really wanted, and I switched the course, and I never regretted it.
When you got into the biomed industry, what was your first job? Was it on the Mercy ship or was it somewhere else?
Yeah, it was in a hospital in Ghana. Shadowed the main engineers, fix things, and handle some other jobs that I was given. So yeah, I did not start out at Mercy Ships. I had some experience before joining Mercy Ships.
Now let's talk about Mercy ship. What is Mercy ship? Is it just a ship you just work on, or does a ship go around? Tell us about Mercy ship first off.
So Mercy Ship is a non-governmental organization. It's a humanitarian ship that focuses on Africa, parts of Africa that has low human development index. And so Mercy Ship goes to these countries. Mercy Ship is a hospital on a ship. So it's the entire ship has living spaces. So all people who work on the ship live on the ship, and then also operate a hospital that consists of 6 theaters on the ship. Mercy Ship does surgeries like orthopedics, max facts, women's health. At the moment, Mercy Ships is in Senegal. This is the third visit to Senegal in a row that Mercy Ships has come, because there is quite some need in Senegal at the moment. Mercy Ship is all about serving people, like the really poor or needy people who otherwise would not have access to surgery. And apart from doing free surgeries to these people, Mercy Ship also trains the hospital. Mercy Ship does biomed trainings, anesthesia trainings, surgical trainings, trains different health professionals, so that when they are gone, the local people are able to continue the work that Mercy Ships has already started in their countries.
What you're telling me is Mercy ship goes to this country, treat the people, give them all the medical care they need to give to them, and also train them.
Yes, and also train them of what they need at the moment. And also Mercy Ship also builds sometimes some facilities that if when they need, like we see they need, like build dental clinics for some of these countries and train people to be there and do some surgeries or and other things. So it's an all-in-one organization, not only teaching the people how to fish, but while giving them fish, to teach them also how to fish. Yes, and that way, when the ship is not in the country anymore, they are able to really continue what the ship does. So the ship has imparted a lot of doctors, anesthetists, biomed engineers.
How many people are in the biomed department on the Mercy ship?
On the Mercy Ship, there is 3 long-term positions on the ship, and then there are other short-term positions where people come for really short-term. People who really want to serve but don't have the luxury of time come for a month or 3 weeks or 3 months, as short as they can to tag along and serve. So there is currently 3 long-term positions, kind of permanent positions on the ship. And I forgot to mention, all the people working on the ship, almost everybody is volunteering. It's all volunteer positions on the ship.
What would you say is one of the most interesting things you've seen since you've been working on the Mercy ship with regarding to your medical equipment?
Mercy Ship has a lot of equipment on the ship. The standard of work, it's very excellent, like they care for the people. There are like a whole storage of spare parts, because we are kind of far from getting spare parts. Like we stock a whole storage of parts that we would need, and then we are able to do the job on our own without having to wait for a very long time. So there are many equipment here that Mercyship invests a lot of money in making sure that the people get excellent health care as well. This is when I joined the ship and I saw this, it spoke good to me. I was happy about it, actually. Yeah.
So you have the best of equipment and you have a lot of spare parts, which is great to have because unfortunately you probably can't get something shipped overnight to where you're located.
Exactly.
So how about training? Do the Mercyship provide you with training so that you could stay up on equipment repairs and service? What type of training have you experienced being on the Mercyship?
Yes, so currently I'm waiting to go for a CT training in the Netherlands. I have already gone in January for a CT training, and I'm waiting to go for the advanced course on CT. And this is like the one of the biggest training of Mercyship has offered me so far. And Mercyship brings in manufacturers or vendors. If we can't go to them, they are able to come to us here. Then they bring them in and then they train us like some equipment on the lab. I've gotten trainings in a lot of them. In radiology, I've gotten a lot of trainings and in the theater with anesthesia and the machines. So many trainings, and apart from just really professional training like biomed training, Mercyships give normal developmental trainings. I'm also blessed to participate in the management development training that the ship organizes internally for the volunteers on the ship, and it's very excellent trainings. For me, Mercyship has invested in enough in me since I have started serving. I've gotten a lot of trainings, online and in-person trainings.
How many years have you been working on the Mercyship?
It's been just 1 year.
You mean to tell me in 1 year you've had anesthesia, lab, CT, introduction to CT?
It was really like full training, and then the advanced training that I go in April this year. It's just maybe like to make sure that I am fit. So, and after that, I become a Philips field service engineer. That's like the level 2 training, and it's more difficult to get.
So your imaging equipment is Philips equipment.
Philips, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, Deborah, that you're able to get that type of training.
I forgot to mention the CBCT. That's the OPG dental CT as well. Also got a training on that one in Finland.
So you said Finland?
Yes, Finland, Helsinki.
So how many countries have you been to since you've joined Mercy?
Spain, that's Tenerife. Then, Netherlands and Finland. Then Senegal, four so far. Yeah, many
in
to
1
go
year.
In 1 year.
You're truly giving back, and in the same process, you're advancing within your career. What have you grown to like the most about your career in biomed?
What I love the most in the field is that I find more new things, and I find more I have the more drive to learn new things, because I find out that every day something pops up new, because there's so much interconnection in biomed that come from software, from hardware. You have to know some coding, you have to know some networking. So I see that it's not a lazy field. It will not make you lazy. I'm always on my toes, have to be on my toes if I have to remain useful in the field.
I tell people, you get out of it what you put into it.
Yes.
You know, They're only going to give you if they see that you are taking advantage of the opportunities that they're providing you with, and you are truly doing that. What drives you? What motivates you to get up every morning to do what you do at the level that you do it?
Initially, when I started my career, it has been to make my parents really proud of me, make my siblings after me, like have someone to look up to. And so this had been my drive when, like, I just want that my parents will know that, because they have my dad at a point was paying fees for 10 people in the university, and it was if you when I wanted to come out so badly and then give back to him, but at this point still I want to make them proud of me. But I've seen that there is a bigger cause, there is like a bigger cause in the world than my family, or than to make my parents proud. There are people who depend on my skills, people whom I have to think about when I wake up every morning. I know that there is some child somewhere who was born with a deformed face, and I just want to serve and bring out the best, like enough that I can bring out, to make sure to try my best to make sure that someone who may be depending on me, on my skills. So this drives me to try to go for excellence in my work. I see that there is a lot of need, especially in Africa. So this makes me want to do my work well.
The fact you mentioned your parents, I'm more than sure they're proud of you, but you didn't say the one thing that gets you up in the morning is money. See, that's what's driving a lot of people. They want to make this, they want to make that. But the fact your drive is for your family, to be proud of you, you want to help sick people, that's the why. Everybody has to have a why for what they're doing. And what you're doing is perfect. You want to set an example for your siblings. All the things you mentioned is what we all should be doing as biomed professionals. We should have that want to give, that the service to people. And it warms my heart to hear you say all of those things, because that's the essence of a true HTM professional. And I commend you and I applaud you for that. Now, let me ask you, what have you learned about yourself recently that you may have not known when you first begin your journey in biomed?
And one of the most important things I've learned is that I am capable of taking more pressure than I thought I could. I'm capable of doing more than I thought I could. I am also able to learn what I want to learn, or to discover what I want to discover. So I have learned that about myself, that I am capable of more.
Let's just twist things a little bit. Are you married? Kids?
No, I'm not married yet. Not have no kids yet. Yeah, I'm single.
So do you actually live on the ship, or you just come to the ship when it takes off, or y'all just there all the time?
Live on the ship. It's like a small town on the ship here. There is everything. There is the bank, a shop, a boutique. There are lounges. There are playgrounds. Yeah, there is everything you would need on land. Yeah, and there are cabins for everybody, family cabins, single cabins. Yeah, so we actually live on the ship and work on the ship as well.
So it's basically a cruise ship / hospital.
Yes, yeah.
And how many mercy ships are there? Just one of one? Are there multiple ships?
Two of the ships in mercy ships right now. We have the Africa Mercy and the Global Mercy ship.
And do they interchange you guys? Like you might work on this one sometime and you work on the other one, or y'all pretty much set to one ship?
Sometimes it could be your decision or where you are needed. Last year, I was working on the Africa Mercy. And then this year, I've been transferred to the Global Mercy. So yeah, it really depends on. And currently, this year, the Africa Mercy is going into a period of refit and maintenance before it continues its field service next year. So this year, the ship that is doing surgeries is the Global Mercy, and that's where we will need the biomed. So yeah, so it depends mostly where your skills are needed or where they need more people. Yeah, and everything. The Global Mercy is lots more bigger than the Africa Mercy, and so we need more biomeds here. So
now, earlier you mentioned that when you go to these countries where they may not have any place to receive medical care, y'all will build clinics. So along with building these clinics, I'm assuming you also install medical equipment there. Now, when you install this medical equipment, do y'all teach individuals how to at least do some type of maintenance on the medical equipment, or they wait till y'all come back to do service to it?
So there is a whole Mercy ship is two missions, which is one part of the mission is focusing on doing surgery for people, and the other part of the mission is focusing on training the locals on doing their own surgeries, repairs, and then everything. So on the other wing, which is, we call it MCB, medical capacity building. So this wing is the one that does training for the biomed. So they train them to be totally independent, train them, certify them, give them certificates, and give them test equipment, make sure they are able to use them. So when Mercy ship donates equipment and everything, they make sure that it's sustainable. The locals are able to service the equipment as well, so they don't have to wait for us to come back at all. Yeah.
So Mercy ship is a hospital / teaching facility / clinic.
Exactly.
So everything. So pretty much when the ship pulls up, everything's done on the ship.
Some of the trainings are done in local facilities, local universities, hospitals.
I work at the children's hospital, and when I see the little kids, it makes me feel good that I'm giving some type of assistance. So in your situation, it's 10 times critical. So you must be very proud.
That is just the perfect definition of it. Sometimes you get to see the patients walk up the gangway with their, if it's a physical condition that you can see, maybe a huge tumor in their face or a bowel leg, or you get to see their initial conditions, and then when they are discharged, or like when they come back for review, you see the same person and it's a total change, and it is so satisfying. It's rewarding. You see it, you see the impact of what you are doing. So yeah, in that sense, it's satisfying or rewarding to be able to see the patients and see the stories that are behind the patients and how they've been impacted, and all that. You're sometimes able to walk into the ward and talk to them, and it's really nice.
Yeah, Deborah, this is one of the reasons why I love what I do. And this is one of the reasons why I did this podcast, to reach out to people like you who can share your story and hopefully whoever's listening can see that what we do is very important and life-saving. I have a friend of mine, he liked to consider us doctors of medical
Yes, great.
equipment. And that's exactly what you are. And to see the joy on a patient's face when they're feeling better and to know you had
Yeah.
a part in that, it has to be
Yeah.
very satisfying.
It is very much satisfying. It's not much, nothing else that you would not, money would not really even give you this much satisfaction.
But Deborah, I'm so appreciative that you took a little time to come speak with me. I know we have like a 6-hour difference. It's what time is it by you right now?
50 past 9 p.m. Yeah, 9.
9:50. It's just 3:49 where I'm at. So I appreciate you staying up for me. And I would love to have you back maybe in a few months, check with you and see how things are going. And maybe you could bring one of your friends along and we could talk to more people. But I'm glad you shared your story with me and we have to get together soon. Anything you would like to say in closing?
I'm so grateful that you invited me to your podcast. I really appreciate it for you to have me share my story and all the wonderful things that's going on in this part of the world.
Hey, we both have new friends now. You're the only friend I have on that part of the world now. So that's great. That's great. Right. Deborah, thanks once again for coming on HTM on the Line and sharing your story. Around the world, in places without access to medical care, there are children, teens, and adults suffering and dying from treatable causes. Without help, 1 child in 8 will die before age 5. With the help of the Mercy Ship and many volunteers, such as Deborah, they can reach these vulnerable children and families and provide the hope and healing they have been praying for. I try to leave each episode with a quote. This quote is from Jonas Salk. Hope lies in dreams, in imagination, and in the courage of those who dare to make dreams into reality. As always, please share my podcast on all your social media platforms. Until next time, be safe out there.